the whole month of June, and we're wrapping up. We'll make that delivery here this week. So excited to quote wrap up the June drive, but that's something we do all year long. So you can always check that out and get more information at pbjdrive.com. At the Todd Tramonte home selling team, every single time that someone introduces us to a friend, family member, or neighbor who needs to buy or sell a home, we make a contribution to the North Texas Food Bank. So we're invested in feeding hungry families in North Texas all year long. So in the event that you missed out on that, there's still some ways that you can participate. You can check out pbjdrive.com, or you can call our office at 214-310-0008, 214-310-0008. Now we're going to get into it today, and we're going to talk about some outdoor kitchen stuff. I've been excited to have some really good conversations with clients this week about outdoor kitchen and living areas. We will, as always, do a little bit on kind of state of the market, what's going on in the real estate market in Dallas-Fort Worth right now as we head into really the heart of summer, middle of summer here. As it's getting pretty hot outside, but the market is staying really hot as well, literally and metaphorically. We are brought to you by Patrick Galeros and his team over at Cardinal Financial. I literally reached out to Patrick 2 times since our last show, one on a potential commercial opportunity and then one on some residential stuff. So anytime I have mortgage questions, I call Patrick Galeros, and so should you, at 972-728-3420 or online at patrickgaleros.com. That's Glaros, patrickgaleros.com. We are also brought to you by our good friends at Elite Appliance, Reinhardt Service Company, Arrington Roofing, Due West Foundation Repair, America's Choice Windows, and a handful of other folks that always pitch in and offer great value that we'll be happy to tell you about as we make our way through the show. If you ever have questions, you'd like to submit them to the show, you can find us on social media at Todd Tramonte, at Todd Tramonte Home Selling Team, pretty much all over the place. And then we also have a radio show Facebook page at what do we have? At Texas Real Estate with Todd Tramonte. The radio show site is TREradio.com. You can find all those vendors and our preferred professionals there, as well as episodes from our past radio shows and some free video content there for you as well at TREradio.com. We got Brian McFarling in studio here, producer with THI. He'll hit me up with all your questions. Welcome, Brian.
Always glad to be here.
Now, Brian was out last time, so we actually gave a microphone to producer Mason. He's back with us as always, but again, without a microphone. So welcome, Mason, and no response.
He's banging on the glass in the back. He has no mic.
He's running the camera, though, so if you ever want to check out a video of previous episodes, we've got a video of just about every single episode, and Mason is the man behind the camera. You can find those at tthst.tv. TTHST, short for Todd Tramonte Home Selling Team. And that takes you straight to our YouTube channel with, I don't know, what do we have, 500 plus videos now? 700? Man, I was off by a doozy. We've got hundreds of videos, we'll say there, past radio show episodes, and then hundreds and hundreds of non-radio videos there of questions and answers and local tips and market updates and where you can find great deals in the market and how to increase your property value and all that kind of good stuff. So anyway, Brian will hit me with your questions, and we'll get into it right now.
Very interesting questions that I've pulled up, and one of them has to do with technology. It's a very interesting question because we're talking about 3D tours. Yep. And I've actually had a couple of questions from individuals asking about the online presentation of a home. Mm-hmm. Are we headed to a position where real estate agents might be phased out? That's literally a question I had, because you can now go online and literally look at these homes without even having to set foot in the home.
Yeah, so here's the answer, no. Now there's a few questions in there, so that no is to the question, are real estate agents going to be phased out? But stay with me. We actually have a lot of real estate agents that listen to this show. And I have a coaching and consulting company that kind of operates on the side of our real estate brokerage, because we have a unique model, and we've kind of built a name for putting more money in sellers' pockets and also buyers' pockets as well. Agents around the country, all over North America, Canada, and the United States, have asked us to help kind of train them on how we do what we do. So in that business, we are coaching and consulting and training agents to make sure that they're building in a core expertise and a differentiation around really delivering value. Because, to answer that question more deeply, a lot of agents are going to be phased out. Now, not all agents, but the agents that simply kind of take your phone call, open a door for you, fill out some basic paperwork, and that's it, those agents are absolutely already getting phased out. I would say in the next decade, the vast majority of what I would call lazy agents, and I don't mean, deliberately lazy, low value jerks. I mean people that are kind of good, the way it's always been done is the way it's always going to be done. Those kind of folks that are, nice people, but they're not working hard at offering any real value. They're going to get eliminated from the business. Now let's look at some other industries. We've talked about this before. Travel agents. Lots and lots and lots of travel agents have been eliminated from the business because you can go to Travelocity or Orbitz or Kayak or straight to American Airlines or Southwest.com or whatever and book your own flight. You can go to hotels.com or whatever and book your own hotel. You can go to a million websites and book your own rental car. You can do them all at Travelocity or Orbitz or, whatever. So you don't need anyone to come in and simply click around and book it for you anymore. But when I took my family to Disney recently, we used a Disney travel specialist. And she did almost all that for us because I'm not an expert on how to get into the park and what days which parks are better and less busy and which parade at which time we should go to and how the fast passes work and which rental car service cooperates best with Disney and is best timed for, right? So that's a specialist. A Disney travel specialist. We've used cruise travel specialists. I've used car services. I don't use Yellow Cab or the local taxi company anymore. I've used Uber. I've used Lyft. I've used a private car service. So there are still businesses in that industry, but they've adapted to have a core expertise. And I would use, the personal car service is still around. Just anyone who's driving the street, that's gone away. And I could take it over to stockbroker, E-Trade and all these companies have eliminated the guy or gal that would just take your call and say, I'll put in a trade. But the high net worth, wealth managers or the private business owner financial advisor or the kind of nonprofit world financial advisor, all those specialists are doing better than they've ever done. So to answer that question, are agents going to get wiped out? No. But if you have no specialization, no expertise, and you're just run-of-the-mill commodity, your days are numbered, and I mean like single digits. It's trouble. But if you offer some real expertise, I think the industry, the world, the culture is begging for expertise and demanding real value, which is why we've built the Todd Tramonte home selling team the way we have. And 10 years ago, agents looked at me and said I was crazy for doing this. And now many of them are looking at us from their job outside of real estate saying, well, that was a really good idea. Thinking about getting back in, will you train me?
I had another interesting question there were so many. I paraphrased that one, by the way.
I know I missed one or two from the beginning.
No, that's fine. It was how important is online? And then on the flip side of the coin, if you're just looking at a house online, and I experienced this with looking at cars, so you look at the car and like, oh my gosh, that's a great looking car, and they didn't take a picture of the bumper that's smashed
right,
or something.
Three sides.
Yeah, and so you're almost buying this thing sight unseen, but you haven't looked. So we'll start first with how important is the online presentation?
Let me just answer that real quick.
That one quick.
Unbelievably important. We tell our seller clients the first showing is always online. Virtually no one is going to get in the car and drive out and view your property if they did not already view it online and like it. So the online presence is tremendously valuable. We have a whole, what we call our initial consultation, when we sit down with a seller or a potential seller and tell them what it's going to take to get them max value in minimal time and what our process is and how we're unique and what we do for them. One of the things we say is the camera is the most important piece of technology we use in our entire marketing approach, more than the MLS and things. Now, obviously, there's some other really important technology, but the MLS doesn't do me any good if I don't have really attractive photos or videos to put on there, right? Because now I have a big mouthpiece and nothing to say, or a big window, but when you look through, it doesn't look very good. So online is unbelievably important because that's where the first showing happens. Whether it's the agent or the buyer themselves, one or both of them is looking online first. Even the appraiser and often the inspector are going to go get a first impression online before they drive out. Let's take the appraiser, for example. If the appraiser's first impression is like, oh man, what a junker. Yeah. as they drive out, and when they're there and they have 10, 12 different kind of coin flip decisions to make. Well, it's kind of middle of the road. Do I price it up or do I price it down? Do I consider that a positive or do I consider that a negative? Not everything's obvious. So that initial impression is that important. And that's why online, and that's one of the reasons, I could give you tons more, but for the sake of time, that's one of the reasons that the initial online internet impression is just unbelievably valuable.
Based on what you just said, do you ever go back to a couple or family selling their home and say, hey, before we take these pictures, you need to fix this, because that will literally cause this thing to fall apart.
And I'll be careful to say we're not really heavy on coming to someone's house and saying your house is terrible, we need to redo it.
Right.
But we're very big on saying if this is your goal and your goal is to maximize value, then here are some things that we can do to drive us to this number. If we don't do those things, it'll drive to this number. And so we usually give a very clear picture of why you would and if you would, what it's going to do for you and those kind of things. And for that reason, many clients will say, okay, we're not ready to do photos or videos yet. We need a week or two and we'll paint that, we'll patch that, we'll replace that window, we'll change out the flooring in there. Or it's a lot of times it's much simpler than that. It's like, we need a deep cleaning, bring in the staging crew, which we provide staging on every time we list a property, we include that. As well as professional photography and videography and internet marketing and offline marketing and all this other stuff. But that's part of that presentation, that what we call the positioning phase of marketing your home. And yeah, it's absolutely essential. It makes thousands and thousands of dollars of difference in sales price and weeks of time difference in sales time. So great question.
Now on the other side of the coin, let's say you're looking at a home and you're looking at the pictures of the online virtual tour. How much stock do you put into that? Because I've talked to people who fell in love with the house online, and then the passion almost was so high that they were willing to overlook big problems in the home.
When we market a home and we're on the seller side, well, my business philosophy as a whole is you've got to set high expectations and you still have to exceed them. And that's hard to do. But that business should be hard. It should be something where you offer such amazing value that it requires hard work. It's the same thing when you market a home. You should set a high expectation with those videos and things. But when a client arrives at the house, you should still be able to exceed that. They should find something when they get there that's even better than on the internet. We live in a world now where people are doctoring photos and videos and it looks amazing on the internet, and then you get there and it's a letdown. Most people, when they encounter that letdown, are either going to bail out or dramatically decrease their perception of value. The other risk in your situation is if you're a buyer without a great agent and you're at the mercy of your emotions, and you see a home that looks great online, your emotions are high, you get there and it's not as good, but your emotions get you carried away and you overpay or under scrutinize issues with a home that was presented well online and doesn't present as well in person. So hopefully we've covered that well enough to talk about the risks and the opportunities of a really good, the online piece, and let me be very clear, that's just one piece, the online piece of a well-marketed, well-presented home. Now, when we talk about presenting a home well and marketing a home well, one of the things that gets overlooked a lot is the roof. You look at the roof as you're walking up to the house, it looks fine and you're done. You look in the house, you like it, you make an offer, you buy it, you move on. Well, slow down, because a roof is one of those things where from the ground, looks can be deceiving. And so we encourage every single one of our home buyer clients to call Arrington Roofing and have them come out and do a full roof look. We would normally call that an inspection. It's basically a once over. Arrington will come out, they'll look at it from the ground, they'll climb up on the roof, they'll get you a full assessment, they'll let you know, does this roof need some repairs? Has there been hail damage? Is there wind damage or storm damage? Are there any leaks? Does it need to be replaced, or is there some repair work that needs to be done? So I would recommend that if you haven't had a professional roofer evaluate your roof in the last 2 or 3 years in North Texas, that you do that right now. I would have you call 214-698-8443, 214-698-8443, or go online to arringtonroofing.com, 2 R's, ARRINGTON, ArringtonRoofing.com. Now, one of the reasons that I tell people about Arrington Roofing is because they're a locally owned, family-owned business that's been doing a really good job for a long time. And I say this about several of our preferred vendors. They'll shake your hand, look you in the eye, tell you what you need, no more, no less, and do the right thing. Because that's the kind of people that I want to do business with. One of the really cool things about Arrington is they do both commercial and residential, and they do them both well. They're also hiring right now. So if you or anyone you know has experience in the roofing industry, there's some really good opportunity with a really great company right now online at arringtonroofing.com, or give them a call, 214-698-8443. I know the owners. They're a wonderful family. Spent time with them. Chris has been involved with some of the projects we do with the Texas Home Improvement TV and radio shows, where we're seeking out firefighters, military, police officers that may need a helping hand. We've remodeled homes, built homes, and Chris Arrington and the Arrington Roofing family have been involved in every one of those projects, right, Brian?
We've done 3 projects, and they've done something on all 3.
Yeah, they're involved in putting roofs on or providing materials. Absolutely. or gutters and other things. So if you're looking for a job in the roofing industry, I can't imagine a better group of people to be involved with, where they just, on the one hand, they just do good roofs, residential and commercial. On the other hand, they're kind and generous people to be involved with. And they also get involved with projects like Overhaul for a Hero with THI and with us and others, where they take good care of people. I mean, I was lucky enough to actually win an award this year in that group, and if I'm remembering correctly, Arrington is the one that presented the award because they had won it last time, right?
They won it the year before. And what's interesting about them is they're just like you guys at the Todd Tramonte home selling team. They're a family, and they have fun together. Mm-hmm. They're very cohesive. The group is just, it's a great group of people. To show their rooftop living spaces that they help people do with flat roofs, they did one on their office, and they throw parties up there. I mean, they're just a cool group. So if you're looking for a job in roofing, go to arringtonroofing.com, 2 R's, ARRINGTON, arringtonroofing.com, or 214-698-8443, 214-698-8443. I had a little roofing issue, let's say, the other day, and we're going to have Arrington out in the next couple days. I know you've had them on your roof, probably both of your roofs. Anyway, arringtonroofing.com, great place to work, or if you need commercial or residential. If you haven't had someone on your roof in the last couple of years in North Texas, you need to. ArringtonRoofing.com. Interesting question here, and I saw 2 of these signs on the way over here today. And I'll just phrase it this way: how important is an open house? I saw actually a sign today that says "Open House coming" and this date, like the preview to the open house.
Building anticipation.
It's like, and a lot of agents are saying we always start with an open house. Yeah. So I want to clear the air.
Yeah.
How important is that? Or is it?
I'm going to get angry emails from real estate agents after this. So if you're not a real estate agent, lean in. If you are a real estate agent, lean in. I've been wrong before, but I'm really confident that I'm correct in what I'm about to say about open houses. And here you go. Open houses work, but they almost never work for what most people think. It's very rare that the person that buys a house is going to find it at an open house. Now, I say it's very rare because it does happen. I have actually sold one of my personal homes through an open house, and I almost regret that that's the case because it looks like I did something uniquely for my own that I didn't do for a client. It's not true. I feel like we kind of got lucky. I mean, we did good marketing. It just happened to be that the open house worked. It has happened, I want to say, one other time in my whole career. Now, here's the trick, though. We have generated buyer interest. Let's say I do an open house on your house, and 2 or 3 buyers come in that don't have a real estate agent. Well, we might meet with them, and we might sign them as a client, and then we might take them over to Mason's house that's for sale and sell them that house. So doing open houses is valuable for our seller clients, but it's not like retail sales where someone just walks in and buys it. That is rarely going to happen. But a team like ours, it is valuable for you as a seller who knows we might currently have 20 or 30 other sellers. And every one of those sellers is sort of helping each other. Because every time we put a property on the market and we generate buyer interest, those are all potential buyers for your house or our other houses that we're marketing. So the ability to attract buyers is good for all of our sellers. So we're not taking advantage of our sellers by doing open houses to be selfish and just generate our own leads. But we tell our clients this. A lot of agents don't tell the client that, and then they're always let down. Did you find a buyer? Well, not this weekend, but we'll come back out and try again next weekend. So we do them. They're not a must. If a client doesn't want us to do it, that's totally fine because it's not likely to be the source of their buyer. But a lot of our clients are like, look, if you think it'll help, that's great. If not, we don't care. And we tell them it will help in the big picture of kind of the ecosystem of finding buyers and things, but it is not likely to be the primary thing that sells your home. So if you don't want to do it, if you don't want to leave your house this weekend, totally fine. So we do them for that reason. So a lot of times we don't do them for that reason, but we're always having an open dialogue with our clients so they know that. I think people have felt burned by agents that did them just to get buyers, but they weren't going to sell their house, or agents that built it up to be something it's not, or agents that just refused to because they were lazy. It's somewhere in the middle. It's a strategy that needs to be explained and not just assumed to work or assumed that they never work.
I know the neighbors love it because they love to come by and see what a house in their neighborhood looks like.
And we tell them that. Invite all your neighbors. We're not afraid of nosy neighbors because they may become our sales force. They may go to work and tell a friend, or go to the country club and tell a friend, or go to the softball game and tell a friend. And that actually might be how we find our buyer. So there's no reason not to let them come over. So being cold about it, it doesn't do anyone any good. So we always, and sometimes we do a private open house just for the neighbors. We say the first hour is not open to the public. It's invite only. Come on over. We'll have some iced tea or lemonade. Check it out. Here's a flyer. Tell your friends. What's your feedback? What do you know about the neighborhood that buyers would want to know? As an agent, we use that to help us sell the home. Other agents are like, no, they're taking all my flyers. It's costing me money. That's very short-sighted, obviously.
I did not expect that answer, to be honest with you.
My goal is to give you answers you don't expect.
Well, when you think about it, back in the 80s and even the 90s before the internet was out, I'm sure open houses were different then than they are now because you just
I could talk about them for 2 hours because the strategy of getting quality information from people to keep being safe and secure about your seller's home, screening people's information, marketing one, there's boundaries and appropriate and inappropriate all in there, but we don't have time to talk about that. Right. So I wanted to give you what's important for the homeowner. Yeah. So if you're listening and you're a homeowner, that's always our goal, is to add value for you and not just to talk to real estate agents or to filibuster about what's important to us. So another way to add value for you is if you're curious what your home would sell for or rent for in the current market, be nosy. Go check that out. Everyone listening right now, if you own a property or you have a friend that owns a property or whatever, go find out what your property would sell for in this market. Go to valuethishouse.com, valuethishouse.com. You can get that information in less than 1 minute. Valuethishouse.com. Find out what your house would sell for in this crazy market for less than 1 minute. Valuethishouse.com. We'll be right back with more Texas real estate on WBAP.